Alright, welcome back, you beautiful souls. This is James, also known as the Ogre Zerg. I am attempting to record this for the 8th time. Um, Finally was able to get my sinuses cleared up and everything to actually speak properly. So, where we last left off our story with what if Deku gained a leveling system, Izuku had his interactions with Uraraka, and he sees Katsuki, and he's like, "Should I?" And he steps towards him, but then he like stops himself. He's like, "No, he's kind of a, it's kind of a dick." And he's walking. He's like, "Okay, deep breath, calm your nerves. You can do this. Remember the training you've done. Like, this is gonna be a cakewalk compared to that time." And Izuku's like, he's psyching himself up. And he walks in. He does like the written exam, and I want to say that he does better than what he does in canon because he did have a little bit more time. He did have some more time to study for the exam. So that being said, like he does the written exam, then they go to the hall, and he sits next to Katsuki, and he's like, "Look, we had like the same seating arrangements and everything." And Katsuki's like, "Shut up, you damn nerd!" Like just annoyed at the presence of Izuku, and Izuku like kind of like means a little bit, and then he just starts whispering under his breath, like, and like he's talking like under his breath, and the voice in the hmm, voice. How, how do I say that? If any of you have seen the anime, the time I got reincarnated as a slime, you know how he has like the Great Sage as like his personal like AI type thing. Like that's what Izuku's doing. He's talking to this thing because he's like ever since he got One for All, like the app, like the best way to describe it is the app kind of like changed, and it somewhat gained like consciousness. And Izuku's like is like under his breath. It's like, so what skills are we gonna be using? Like this, like we could use that, like in combination with that. And he's just muttering all this under his breath. And Ida does his classic thing where he points out like the fourth robot and everything, and he turns around. And he's like, "And you there? You've been whispering under your breath this whole time and not even paying attention." And at this, Izuku's like looks up and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like distract anybody else. And as far as paying attention, like it's pretty obvious to me that they didn't make a mistake. That there's another robot. But the reason why like I'm pretty sure President Mike was about to explain it, but it's probably not worth any points." And this kind of like shocks Kotsky a little bit. He's like, "You damn nerd. Obviously you would figure that out." And Ida's like kind of like has like a meep moment, like, "What? He was paying attention. But in any case, you're distracting everybody else. You need to like quiet down." And President Mike like is like, "Thank you, applicant like number." He does the same thing where he addresses Ida, and he's like, "Great for pointing that out. Both of you did a worthwhile job to like pointing this out. Like the young man was saying, there is another robot, and the reason why I wasn't really mentioning it because it's more of an obstacle, and it's not that you can't defeat this thing, but there really isn't any point considering like the other gentleman pointed out, it's worth 0 points. So it's best to probably just run from it if you ever see it. So Izuku is sitting is like they get their cards to like where the training grounds and everything, and Izuku like looks at Katsuki's and he's like, and Katsuki's like, yeah, they probably put us in different spaces because they don't want us helping out friends, but like I would ever help you out, you freaking nerd. Like I don't even know why you're even here. And this is when Izuku kind of like breaks a little bit. He's like, you know what, Katsuki, you've been a jerk like ever since like you developed your quirk, and I was like quirkless back then and everything, and you just became a real dick. And honestly, it's probably the reason, like, that's why I didn't say that my quirk came in. And this kind of pisses Katsuki off even more. He's like, what, you have a quirk? Ah! Like, Katsuki's like, whatever, I need to focus on this. And this gives Katsuki Bakugo a little bit more fuel for, like, the fire. He's, like, enraged at this, that worthless Deku. He had a quirk like for the past couple years and he was a late bloomer and he didn't say anything. Ugh, what does he think? He's better than me? Well, I'm gonna show him. I'm gonna show him that I'm better than him. I don't care what kind of quirk he has. I'm gonna prove to him that I'm better than him. I'm gonna get the top score in this. And so Katsuki kind of like just pushes Izuku out of his way, and he says, you know what, Izuku, whatever, I'm gonna prove I'm better than you. Doesn't matter what kind of quirk you have. And so like Izuku and Katsuki's friendship is strained even more. Basically what happened during the first and second season is pretty much what's going on like right now. And Izuku's like, whatever, like, I guess he's always gonna be a jerk. Well, I have to get ready for this. Like, I have to psych myself up. And then while he's staying there, he notices like two people that he recognizes that he's met before. And he sees one girl with some green hairs and spikes and that are kind of spiky, and then he sees like the girl that saved him in the morning. And they're kind of like in the same general area, and he starts walking towards them, and Ida stops and is like, you're distracting people and now you're gonna go distract like her, kind of like pointing to her rock. And he's like, no, I wasn't even like pointing at her. It seems like she's trying to psych herself up. There's someone that I know. And he kind of just like blows past Ida. Like Ida goes to like catch it, and Izuku kind of just sidesteps it. And then he walks up to this girl with green hair, and he's like, long time no see. And she's like, oh, you're here. And he's like, well, I thought you were going to go, you're going to take a recommendation route. And she's like, no, like, after what happened, like, I decided to try this out. To prove to myself that I can do this without anybody else's help. And Izuku's like, well, like, I kind of did help you. And she's like, that's besides the point. That's different. Like, basically, like, me doing the recommendation route is a shoe-in for me. This way, I can prove to myself that I deserve this. And Izuku and this girl, like, kind of looks at each other, and Izuku's like, alright. And so Izuku backs up and, like, kind of walks to the back of the room. And Ida's kind of, like, looking at this, and he's like, what is that kid's problem? Like, does he know, like, if you're in the back, like, the chances of you getting, like, less points and stuff? And he's, like, Ida's just thinking about this and stuff like this. And Izuku like goes back and like he just kind of closes his eyes, just standing there waiting. And then as soon as like President Mike does his famous countdown and he's talking and everything, and he's like, there won't be any countdowns in real life. Go, 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 says Izuku, and he says President Mike, I mean, and Izuku at this point kind of like kneels down while everyone else is running out. And President Mike's like, young man, he's like, and all the contestants are off. So, pardon me, one moment. Alright, so I believe before the interruption, I was at where like the start of the practical exam had started. And so Izuku is sitting there and he kind of like kneels down. And he has his eyes closed and he has like his hands on the ground. And everyone's just like kind of looking at him. They're like, oh, this kid's not going to be doing anything. And he's just sitting there. And besides one person, she kind of looks back at him and she's like, oh my god, if I don't get any more bullets, he's gonna take them on. Like, what is he gonna do? Like, I mean, like, I saw him do that, like, last month, but, like, wow, this kid. Like, everybody's just gonna freak out when he actually starts moving. Like, she's trying to guess, like, when he's actually going to act. And then, like, they just see him, like, start stretching and everything, and he's doing, like, minor, like, he's stretching out, like, cracking his knuckles, like this, and then, like, cracking his neck, tilting it back and forth, pulling his calf muscles, and then, like, he starts to jump, like, in place, and, like, as soon as he starts jumping, people just start feeling, like, these mini vibrations, like they're like hearing like a boom, 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 and people like some kids have looked back at him and they're like, whoa, what is he doing? Like, what is his quirk? And then Ida kind of looks at this and he's like, what is that kid doing? Like, and what is it? What is his quirk exactly? Like, because it seems like he may have like some kind of like jumping quirk or like a super strength quirk. And then, like, when the blink of an eye, so in the blink of an eye, like Ida like is just thinking this, and he's looking at Izuku because it's creating noticeable noise. But in the blink of an eye, Izuku disappears, and Ida's like, where did he go? And then he just hears a loud, like a and a loud crash behind him. And he turns around and Izuku's standing right there, and he's like, you know, man, you've got to pay attention because like you could have died right there, and it would suck like if you just died in the exam, you know, like. You gotta learn to be more attentive of your surroundings, and he's like, well, I'm gonna go over here, and Izuku just kind of like walks off and leaves Ida a little bit shocked, but then Ida gains his composure and goes back to like taking out robots and stuff, and he's counting, and this just makes Ida like a little bit more determined, so he's gonna get a few more points than what he normally does. And like everything, a few minutes go by, and then like there's a scene where Izuku's just walking and like robots like go to attack him. Like one robot kind of like gets knocked back and everyone's like, whoa, he has a super strength quirk, because like he literally just punches the dang thing. And he's not actually using like one for all. He's like, this is just his physical strength. He's just knocking the thing back, and then one robot goes to like hit him, and the moment like Hizuku puts up his hands and it connects with it, like the robot explodes, and like electricity kind of like it was run like it's coming off of it, and they're like, whoa, what is this quirk? Like, does he have a super strength quirk? Does he have an electric quirk? What is that? And this goes on for a couple of minutes, and then we cut over to the teacher's box, and the teachers are looking at all over the different like examining zones, and they're like, wow, these students are really cool, or like really good this year, like really strong contestants this year. And everyone's like, yeah, like there's this kid over in this area, and he is he is something else. God, if he became a villain, he would be a scary one to deal with. And people were like starting to hear like explode like it's Bakugo. He like basically went into the center of the city and let off a freaking howitzer, like let off like a massive explosion, which attracted a bunch of robots, and then he just proceeded to like go coup de grace on them. And in another one, like you just see like normal things, and then the teacher's like, yeah, but like this kid over in Gamma, he's something else. Like, yeah, he's racking up a lot of villain points, but like look at him go. He's like helping people that are in trouble. Like he seems like he's more focused on helping people out that are struggling. Like this kid's a absolute monster. Like if he wanted to, he could probably take out every robot in the training area if he wanted to. And they're just like going back and forth, and this is this is when Nezu like is like, well, I guess it's about time we release them then. And he reaches down and pushes a button. And like across like every training zone, like there's rumbling and everything. And this is when we cut back to Izuku. He sees the 0 pointer like way off in the distance, and he's like, oh, whoa, that's bigger than what I thought it would be. Well, there's like, could I take it? Could I? Like, he's sitting there thinking and everything, and people are starting to like run past him, and Izuku's just standing there, like, and he's seriously questioning, like, should I do this? Should I just like take it out? So like, there's like all this rumbling, and Ito's like running back, and he's like, kid, get out of there! Like, what's going on? Like, why aren't you running? And then, like, so Izuku's just thinking, he's like, so what if I use this skill, I could probably take it out. Like, should I? But, like, what would it be just, like, kind of like what Kachan does? Like, Katsuki does? Like, he's always showing off and everything. And he's like, should I? But, like, it'd be showing off, and that wouldn't be really pious. But, and then he hears, like, a scream, and it's like, help! Help! I'm stuck! And then Izuku just looks and he sees a girl. And then at this point, like everyone just sees Izuku starting to like electricity starting to like flash around his body. And Izuku like gets down into a running stance, and then in a few seconds, like Izuku just takes off, and then he goes one leap, two leaps, and then on the third leap they just hear a sonic boom, like, and he just takes off, and he gets right up like in the matter of like a couple of seconds. He's basically gone like a quarter of the training zone's like distance, and Ida is just like looking at this. He's like, holy shit, he's fast. And he's like, I can't believe someone like is here that's faster than me. Like, how in the what? And then as Ida's thinking this, like he just kind of sees like a green flash like go by him. And he's like, what was that? And and then he sees like Izuku. And like this is all happening in a matter of seconds. And then he sees like the green haired boy, um, like he sees like his arm like starting to like glow with like a white light, and then he just sees the zero pointer kind of just like disappear along with a few buildings that were behind it inside of like a massive thunderbolt just comes down from the sky and just incinerates, like pretty much incinerates like 75% of the zero pointer. Like there's like a leg laying here, there's a leg laying there, there's like an arm on the like laying over there, and then there's like just this massive, there's like this crater in the ground. What had happened, like we cut to like Izuku's perspective. And Izuku's like thinking, he's like, what should I do? Like I said before. And then after he hears one more, I apologize about that, and this will be my last attempt because I'm not going to re-record. So we were in Izuku's perspective. He's thinking about like what skills he should use, or if he should even like take this thing out. But then when he hears like a cry for help, he's like, well, I guess I have to. And then this voice inside of his head is like, danger, combination of skills will drain danger, combination of skills will drain stamina to dangerous levels. And then as Izuku's like, he's thinking, he's like, don't care, I have to do it. It's the only way that I can get there in time. The only way that I can get there in time. I have to get there. I can't let someone die. I just can't watch someone die in front of me. And he basically like he takes like 3 steps, and like the jumps that people are seeing is actually just Izuku taking like strides in the force and power that it has behind his legs. He has like the signature electricity running around his body, and then he's running, and then he just leaps up, and he goes one for all, enhanced holy smite, as he punches the robot. And from Izuku's perspective, in a few teachers in the observation room with observation like quirks that can perceive stuff like perception quirks, just see like what Izuku actually did. He basically punched this thing, and while it was getting struck by lightning, which created a massive created like a miniature explosion. And basically like 75% of the robot was like the zero pointer was incinerated along with some of the surrounding areas. And so Izuku's like starting to fall now because it's like, warning, warning, stamina levels at critical levels will danger of death. Warning. And Mizuki's like, he's like, shut up. Like, well, I guess it was a good one. Had a good run of things. And then all of a sudden, like, because he has his eyes closed, and he's like, well, God, thanks for giving me the strength and the opportunity to be a hero again. Whew, I just hope Mom is okay. And at that, like, he just feels himself he feels himself like completely stop, and he's like, well, I guess I'm dead. And then he opens his eyes, and he's encased in vines. And he's like, well, figures, you know. And he's thinking, he's like, figures she'd do something like that. And as he's like comes down to the ground, he goes, this girl with hair that makes fun, that's made out of vines, and everyone should know that this, by now, who's actually seen the anime or read the manga, is Ibarra. And she's like, "Are you okay?" Like, and Izuku's like, kind of like drops to his knees. He's like, "Oh yeah, I thought I was gonna be a goner there. Nice save, Ibarra. Couldn't have done it without you." And at this point, and then Izuku's like, "Wait, the girl, is she okay?" And Ibarra's like, "Yeah, like she seems like she has a sprained ankle, but she should be fine." And then Izuku kind of like walks over, and Chaco's like, "Yeah, like I sprained my ankle. I don't think I can walk." And Izuku's like, "Well, if you can't walk, I can help you. Like, I think you can like help out with your funds, like get her up." And Ivara's like, I don't know, like that move really took a lot out of me. Saving your butt. I didn't think I'd make it in time. And Ivara's like kind of breathing heavy. And Izuku's like, "Okay, well, I've got enough strength left for this." And Izuku kind of like walks over to Uraraka, kind of helps her up, and he's like, "Well, kind of lean on me. And I hope you don't mind if I lean on you, because I am a little winded. That took a lot out of me. And I think I may have pulled a muscle." "Ooh, yeah, definitely pulled a muscle." And he's like, grabs his leg, and he's like, "Yeah, definitely pulled a muscle. Ooh, that's gonna be bruised in the morning." And Uraraka's kind of like looking at this guy. She's like, you're kind of strange, aren't you?" And he's like, "No, like," and Uraraka's like, "Thank you. Like, if it was for you." And he's like, "No, you should thank Bar. Like, she's the real hero here." And this kind of like, and Uraraka's like, "Wait, you two know each other?" He's like, "Oh yeah, we met like a couple weeks before the exam." And like, I'm surprised she actually did the she came to do the practical exam. She could have gotten in on recommendation. And this kind of make like shots her rock. She's like, "What?" And then robots come up and they're like, "Please, put the girl on the stretcher. We'll take her for repairs." And so Izuku and Ibara kind of like look at each other again. They're like, think you did well?" And says Ibara, and Izuku's like, "I don't know. I think I may have passed, but who knows? I was more focused on like making sure no one got really seriously too hurt, you know." And Ibara like kind of laughs. Is kind of laughs and says, "Well, makes sense with like your personality. Whew. I think I'm gonna have to take a breather." And Ibarg like starts to collapse, and Izuku kind of like catches her, and he's like, "Whew, you really did." And he's like trash. He's like, and like some more robots come up, and he's like, "Whew, I think I'm gonna need one of these pretty soon." Not really, but he puts a bar up and he's walking. He's kind of limping and everything. And this is when Recovery Girl comes in, and like the comments about her are made, and she walks up to Izuku and she's like, "Young man, are you okay?" And it's like, "I think I pulled a muscle. Like, should be fine though it's gonna bruise in the morning." And then Recovery Girl kind of like kisses him like on the forehead because he's sitting there, and she's like, "Eat this, like you." And then Izuku's like, "Whoa, thank you. Like, you're a Recovery Girl, right? Like, I heard about you." And Recovery's like, "Oh, so you've heard about me?" And he's like, "Yeah, like you're the healing hero, right?" And because in this, Izuku's really like a huge fanboy of heroes. Because like he's ever since he got like powers from Kami, like this leveling power from Kami, like he's just been researching different heroes, their fighting styles, like what they can do and everything, trying to basically figure out like what kind of hero he wants to be. figuring out like what he wants to do, because he went through like the app more like over those years, like over the like past month, and the past month he's literally been like really looking at a bunch of different heroes, because like the skills and passive trees in his character profile, for lack of better like words, which would be a perfect fit. He's he's like he's been trying to figure out like what kind of heroes are out there, and who what works best, like kind of trying to like figure out the type of hero that he wants to become. So he had decided on it. And with this being a 30-minute video, I will do part 3. And with part 3, I have a page for that, so I will go over portions of 2B with that, because I had planned on splitting 2 up, but with me. Hi, sorry about that interruption, but I kind of wanted to pause the video and switch over to this, my analytics page. The commenter down below did say that they would like the flashback idea, and I was planning on doing this, or like completely retconning and redoing part 2. So, and I figured a way to get the retcon done without actually changing what was in the story. And so what I did I accidentally skipped over some material that I had planned to put into A, like at the end of 2A, and I started on my stuff that had marked with 2B. So, and I only have one page of part 3 out that I have marked. So I'm just going to take the half page of part 3 that I have planned out and add it to 4, and then take like the last 2 ideas that I had for part 4 and add and use those as the start for part 5. So, with that being said, thank you guys for all the subs and the 125 subs. I believe that's where I was at. Or, no, 123 subs. So, that being said, thank you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe to the video down below, and I will see you guys in the next part. I think tomorrow, since I haven't really uploaded a real like my normal 3 videos, because like what I'm wanting to do is like set it up to where after this week I'm pretty much going to do 2 videos try to get like 2 videos a day, or do like 1 video a day, and then just alternate between like different series and what ifs. And if I do like a Black Clover what if or something else, I will like other what ifs anime series, I'm going to like do like 2 uploads, and then like I said before, like take Sunday to kind of like rest and like collect my thoughts on a bunch of stuff, and do some planning on more videos and stuff, and that like not recording and just like relaxing on Sunday, because it's literally the only day that I really get time to rest because of the 2 jobs. That being said, thank you guys for all the subs likes, and supports. It really does keep me motivated to actually put this out. And I want to give a special shout out to this commenter here, because you really gave me the oomph to like really sit down and get this part recorded. So special thanks to you, Antoine. And just like this commenter and a few in my previous video, I will shout you guys out. So that being said, enjoy the rest of your day, you beautiful souls.